Welcome back to another segment of Finances with Uncle Nev. And if you've been watching the series, we're still into that segment dealing with someone making $100,000 and living comfortably. One of the items that simply blew our budget completely out of whack was rent. But before I get there, just to give you a quick recap, a person making $100,000, we estimated that they'll be paying federal and state taxes of $22,400, leaving them with a balance of $77,600 that should take care of investments, emergencies, and having disposable income for things like and paying for clothing. When we took those three items out, we were left with $58,200. But then I wanted to find out exactly why people were underwater with their bills. Why were they simply using their credit cards as piggy banks? Or why were they getting paid their loans? Why? Why? So I started looking at the line items, and today I'm going to deal with perhaps one of the largest line item, and that is rent. Rent, as I showed you in a previous video, was at $30,000 a year, which equates to $2,500 a month. And since I looked at everything and saw where people were spending anywhere from 35 up to the $60,000 range, beyond that $58,200, and not having anything set aside 10% for investment, 10% for emergencies, or 5% for disposable. I said, you know what? You got to go into boot camp. We have to make certain you stay in there and take what I'm recommending. I'm calling it a nuclear approach to debt reduction. I repeat that. A nuclear approach to debt reduction. We got to find a way out to reduce that $30,000 in order to bring us back to $58,200. But let me warn you, you got to be creative. You're going to make sacrifices. You're going to take drastic measures, and you must think outside the box. Days of complaining, no more. If you do not get serious, you'll be forever underwater, be ever poor. And for some of you, you might find yourself on the street, which we do not want. So, having said that, let's go to the board and see exactly how your host, Uncle Nev, is going to direct you out of trouble and into greener pastures. 3, 2. Okay, let's get into this segment here where I'm going to show you or suggest to you how we are going to solve your rent problem. I'm going to call this area Live Free and Never Pay Rent Again. It sounds funny, doesn't it? Yeah. Live free and never pay rent again. So I'm going to share with you some examples that I put together, and these are real life examples. The word today is share. You're going to share. So first, I want you to get out of that $2,500 one bedroom you're living in. And I'm going to suggest that you share the expenses. Now, first approach has to do with moving from the one bedroom to two bedrooms. And here you are going to get someone to share that space with you. Now, make certain that the person going to share it with you could be a family member, a very good friend, but somebody who is safe and reliable. Suggesting that the rent is $3,000 It means that you could split it in half. Your friend or family member is paying $1,500 instead of $2,500 to live by themselves. And each of you would be saving $1,000. That would go against now deduction from the $30,000 you're paying annually. The second example would be 3 bedrooms. And here the cost is $4,000. Now, bear in mind, these numbers will change because every jurisdiction is different. But these are just ideas you can work by. So the master bedroom usually comes with its own bathroom, and usually it is larger. And I believe at $4,000, you could recommend that the person who has the 1 bedroom pay $1,500 a month. That means they're saving $1,000. And then the other 2 rooms, because now they're sharing a bathroom, it's only fair, and their room size is smaller. It's only fair that they pay less than the person who is in the master. So they'll be paying $1,250 each and saving $1,250 a month. The third example would be you're renting a home, see it in red, a home at $5,000 a month. And they're out there, trust me. Again, you now ask the person who's in the master bedroom to pay $1,500 a month. Usually in a 4 bedroom home, you would have what is called a princess, smaller than the master bedroom. However, it has its own bathroom. So I'm suggesting the person would pay $1,300. And then you have the final 2 rooms, again, usually sharing bathrooms. They'll be paying $1,100 each. So here you can see the breakdown. Master bedroom, saving $1,000. Princess, $1,200. And the 2 bedrooms that are paying or sharing bathroom, they are saving $1,400. Now, let's get to the sweet spot. And if you notice, I personally blocked off this section of the board. And it's for a reason. Because this is where I'm trying to show you you're going to pay nothing. So I'd like you to get a 3-family or a triplex. And here we're talking about a cost of $5,000 a month. Let's deal with the 3-family. A 3-family usually is going to have 2 or 3 bedrooms per family, and the living and dining and everything else. So what I'm recommending is, since they have a full layout, Unit 1 pay $2,500, and Unit 2 will do the same thing, which means you're renting the place for $5,000 and Unit 1 and 2 just paid it off. That leaves us, my friend, with a fat zero. You are living rent free. The same thing applies to a triplex. And a triplex is side by side by side. And again, you're going to have the same breakdown. 2 or 3 bedrooms with a basement or not, and you have your own bathrooms and your living rooms and dining room and everything else. It's a full setup. The same thing applies. So do not tell me that it does not work. And why I'm so adamant? Because there was a time when I had 2 such triplexes. I got the first one out of curiosity, and after seeing how well it worked out, I said, you know something? Time for a second one. So don't tell me that you cannot live rent free. The fact of the matter is, you have to be creative. You got to think outside the box, possibilities. You got to make sacrifices. And of course, take drastic measures. These things will work. There's no room for worrying, fretting, and stressing yourself out. So get out there, think outside the box, and make it happen. Once again, if this video was of use to you, and if you can use it to pull yourself out of debt and get yourself to a point where now you have savings, you have funds for emergencies, and you can now take vacations and purchase whatever clothing you want to have and live a happier life. Please tell your friends and family about this program. Tell them to like it, subscribe to it, and ring the bell, because by so doing, each time I put a video out there, it will shoot right to their box and they'll see exactly what else I have to say. I am here to move you to a safe spot financially where hopefully you can build generational wealth and live happy after financially. So this is your host, Uncle Ev, saying, keep it simple and live within your means. Have a good day.